God's country. That's the Grampians, guys, and I'm heading to Grampians Racing between Stawell and Pomona. Pomona about 34 kilometres west of Ararat, and where Andrew Bobbin, the head trainer, is situated. It's about 10 minutes from Stawell. So on my way there, we'll catch up with Andrew today. We'll have a chat about how we got into racing. We'll have a look at a couple of our horses that are there, and Street Baby and Shine and Dandy, and we'll just show you around the magnificent facilities. Very tranquil, very quiet. Kangaroos, cockatoos and horses, and a handful of staff. Works in the deep sand trucks. And yeah, look, just a magnificent place for horses that sort of relish that quieter natural environment. Anyway, I'm about 10 minutes away. We'll get the cameras going there and have a chat to Andrew. Street Baby, guys. She runs Saturday at Chatura. Got Andrew here. She's just going to do a little bit of popping over logs just to keep her mind going.
That's the one. She's really fit and, most importantly, very relaxed. So Chatura on Saturday, it should be a good race for her. I thought she was very unlucky in her last start there at Geelong. Taylor, who rides her every day there, she tells me that the mare is feeling very well. So I don't think the 1980 metres, the rise and trip, will be any issue. She seems to relax very well in running. So let's just hope we get an uninterrupted passage this time.
Yep, Bo Merton stays on.
Yeah, Bo, he does a good job. He's as good as any jockey on that card there on Saturday. So knows the mare, so he deserves to ride her again.
Grampians Racing, Andrew Bobbin. Mate, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago if you would have expected yourself to be in the middle of the Grampians. Such a serene setting, brilliant for horses. Just run us through a little bit of your journey, mate. Obviously, we know you as Matt Kamani's assistant going back a couple of years ago, having horses there, but just the Andrew Bobbin story.
Yeah, sure. So I'll keep it fairly brief, but grew up in country New South Wales in the Bega Valley, a little town called Bamboka, and family had horses, and we had race horses, all ones that just ran around the bush. As a family, we were all active riders. Probably got caught up following the Melbourne Cup as a kid and fell in love with it. And with our horses running around the bush, I decided when I was riding and running around the farm flat out on horses that, hey, I wouldn't mind being a horse trainer. So that was when I was young, and then sort of life got in the way a little bit. I did a few other different things in life, and then about 10 years, I was living in London for a good while, and about 10 years ago I moved back to Australia and thought, I'm going to live the childhood dream and chase up the ambitions of being a racehorse trainer. I thought, where do I start? I was living in Sydney, so I went and approached Gay Waterhouse and told her what I wanted to do. She gave me a good insight into how an operation, or her operation, was run, which one that had all the infrastructure in place, so I could work out exactly where I fitted in. Got to know Matt Kamani at the time. He was working with Chris Waller before he was setting up by himself, and Matt asked me to come and join him in his new operation, which was in Ballarat. Now, I wouldn't have thought I had no intentions of ever coming to Ballarat, but the opportunity was good there, and did 5 years with Matt Kamani. We started with just a handful of horses, and he's up in the big numbers now, but was fortunate to watch a young operation start from the ground up and learn from that. 5 years in, I decided that time was right for me to just go out on my own, and I thought, what can I do that's different? Because I figured if I set up in Ballarat, did the same thing as everybody else, I would get the same results, and it would be very hard to attract owners. During those years, I would hear someone like Darren Weir on television talking about heavy sand being his advantage. I was lucky enough to come across this property up here in the Grampians, and it's just heavy sand galore, a natural sand dune that we've got 100 acres of sand here. Harrowed in tracks, and they undulate, as we spoke about there before in these prior videos. add great variety to the horses. We have horses, we have them stabled, but we also have the majority of them out in yards, and I think the key to it is keeping them happy, add plenty of variety to their day. Not only do we work them on the sand, which is a good surface to build a strong base of fitness, but there's plenty of water, and we've got a treadmill, which I think you have to have these days. But I think the country life is the key to keeping them happy, and if you can keep them happy, as long as they've got a little bit of ability, then you're halfway there at least.
Just to finish off her morning, she's going to have a bit of a dip. Seems to enjoy it by the looks of that.
Same thing, it's all just about her mental state, and this is the last thing she does under saddle, and look at her, she just loves it. Talking about keeping her happy, keep her well hydrated as well. She wants to drink. Dual purpose.
And Taylor does most of her work.
Taylor rides her the whole time.
Yep.
She rode her on day one, and they've been getting on very well. So they stick together, and it's all worked out well for now.
Fantastic snapshot. Andrew, I've been out here 3 or 4 times, and just the serenity, you mentioned the mental state with horses. It's an element that is big, I think. We've seen an example with Street Baby, one of ours. So, yeah, the whole factor of getting fit, but also the mental state's brilliant for this setting out here.
That's right. We do the majority of the work here at the farm in the early stages, and then we're just 10 minutes away from Stall Racecourse, and that's just up the road. So the beauty of that is we can get on the grass every time we want to there, and so we blend that in with jump outs as well as working them here at home in the sand and keeping them happy. The good thing with Stall, I wasn't too sure about moving further away from the metropolitan areas. I thought it might have been a little bit more challenging logistically, but if you look where it's situated in Victoria, north, south and east, west, there's lots of racetracks. So we're not too far from Adelaide, and we've been having a bit of luck over there lately as well. So as far as it's situated, it's a good place, and but the main thing, as we spoke about there before, the horses seem happy here. So we're going fairly well. We're still learning about the operation, but our horses, and the majority of them are tried horses at the moment, we're getting results with them, so we must be doing something right. We might have to head to Warrnambool. She's got a bit of a leap on her, look at this. Up she goes.
If you get a good mare that can jump, they're usually real good. She's up and over them. That's a trigger for their mind more than anything, Andrew.
That's all it is. We're not teaching her to be a jumper at all. It's just something to get her to concentrate a little bit, and just to keep her on her toes, I suppose.
Yep.
Just a bit of variety to a day.
Geographically, I'll just fill in, obviously Stall, people know Stall, but Halls Gap's 15 minutes away, Ararat's 20 minutes away, Pomonal, we've got Lake Fines, which is a great camping area, rich vineyards everywhere. You've got Great Western, where the races are a couple of months away. It's a real rich area, heritage area that's very popular for people to get to. So with that said, owners, if you're about, you're always welcoming.
Yep, always welcome. I'm in the business of, I enjoy horses, but I enjoy people as well, and I really look forward to getting to the races and getting to know people. I enjoy having something to look forward to, and as you owners do as well. So we endeavour to get as much information on your horse out to you as we can, and work together on the journey of winning late races. It's a bit tricky sometimes, but we're working hard and doing our best, and hopefully we can win a race and get that buzz out of it on race day when we cross the line first.
You're a rugby boy from way back, St George. Still following?
In a different life, Rugby League in New South Wales. That was a big part of my life. Wasn't much good, but it sort of opened up a lot of doors for me in life. But sort of keep an eye on it, but not as much as I used to. I think your focus has changed, and you're pretty busy in this game. I've learned pretty quickly that this has to be your focus. It's 7 days a week,
Yeah.
but they're the choices we make, and I enjoy it. So yeah, that was a different life. This is what I'm doing now, and I wouldn't change a thing.
And also a bit of a media experience.
Yeah.
Might have been with Francesca Camani there, Matt's sister at one stage.
That's right. Yeah, we when I was in London, I did a bit of work in television and got to know the Camani family there. That was the connection to the Camanis. Cheska, she put a racing show together that travelled the world, and I worked with her on that, and so lots of fun. And I think that sort of fueled my desire and lit the spark to say, you're in the wrong game. You know, I'd be lying in bed at night thinking about horse racing, and that's what I was the most passionate about. We'd be travelling around, going to some of the biggest stables in the world, and I thought, no, this is what I want to do. So, bit the bullet, came home, and 10 years later, here we are.
No worries. I don't know the time frame on how long you actually been out by yourself, but what, 20 odd winners? You've had winners in Adelaide.
Yeah, so we've actually next week, our first runner was the 20th of November last year. And so we're approaching 12 months, and we've had 21 winners, and I think we've had 31 seconds, really rotten old seconds, but I think that shows that a majority of those horses that are running second there, they usually have been horses that have been sacked from other places, so we're getting them more than competitive. We've won a race at Caulfield on a Saturday, we've won 3 races on a Saturday in Adelaide, so I think the placement is the key, just trying to put the horses in races that they can win, and we're going okay. There's still room for improvement with everything, but I'm not driving home from the races scratching my head going, where are we going wrong? I think most of them at the moment are running about to where I think they should be.
I think a top 3 at around 40% tells you that horses are going to the races ready to run well, and that's a high percentage of top 3 finishes.
Yeah, and we've touched on it here. We're just trying to keep them happy. We're having a bit of luck with mares that I didn't think that when I first started that this place would be suited specifically suited to mares. I think stronger, heavier horses love the sand, but Street Baby that you guys own. She's thriving in this environment. A horse called Righteous Mischief, she's won 3 in a row, our 6-year-old mare. So, we're learning about the place all the time, and things are going well.
Guys, so you're getting this vision at the expense of my life. Andrew's driving.
We'll be able to bury him in the sand. It's easy to dig a hole.
It'll be a big hole. As we get this bit of vision, you'll see the Grampian ranges in the background. It's might have spotted me, I think.
Just a bit shy of the cameraman there, but look, he's got those ears pricked. He's nice and alert and just seems to enjoy it. You have a look at the sand there. We're going down and have a look at the sand here, Morgs. So this is a natural sand bank. We're about 2 hours from the coast, but the scientists tell us that about whether it was 1 million years or 5 million years ago, this was a natural sand bed. And just by chance, a guy who I'm tied up with, he bought the farm, and it's not a bad spot for training racehorses. But if you have a look, it's just the deeper you go down, the more yellow the sand gets. There's just a little bit more of organic matter on the top as things have been growing over the last however many years here. So we harrow it up, and of an afternoon we rake it level so it's nice and smooth. We're at the end of the day there today, and plenty of horses have worked on it, so we'll rake it off later. But the beauty of it is, as you see there, Morgs, you get right into it. Oh, sorry, Nell. There's our horse. We give her a fright, but the beauty of the sand is we can get this strong base of fitness into them, and not knock those limbs about. Take all the concussion out, and we can get the heart rate up fairly quickly without going too many miles. It's just a good surface to really build a strong base of fitness without hopefully doing too much damage. How's he feel now?
Yeah, no, he feels really good. He's sound. He feels sound, that's all we want at this stage, but he loves his work. He definitely loves his work.
And he keeps you honest, like he makes you hang on.
Work.
Makes you work.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
A bit tricky.
He's lively when he sees the birds and the kangaroos flying around, but that's all right.
But yeah, you get exposed to everything out here. There's kangaroos, birds, even got a couple of emus that hang around every now and again. The horses get used to them fairly quickly, so can only be good for them.
And as you said, it's not just like a circular track, there's tracks everywhere.
Yeah, there's plenty of variety. So my thought process is you get bored doing the same thing every day. So one day he'll go left, one day he'll go right, he'll go through some bush. The next day we're about to go and splash him around in some water. Later on we'll jump him over some logs and poles. He does some swimming. So yeah, just really try and mix it up. We'll see you down at the splash pool now.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're here at the dam. He's going to have well, this is finishes off his work. Andrew just explained with the plenty of water holes you got here. This is one of them.
Yeah, the idea is we finish our daily piece of exercise here in our, this is our beach, if you like, a poor man's beach, but a couple of reasons, especially geldings like your bloke. I think mental stimulation is important. He seems to enjoy it, but also with cold water, I think it's good for their limbs as well. After a piece of exercise, whether it's just an easy one or something a little more intense, they can come in the water, cool those limbs off, and I think it can only be good for them. Hey, base, just come past Spencer. Here, all right, this is Spencer up here. He's a Stawell High School student who does. Stop with us, Spencer. You're going to be on telly.
Come back, mate. Sorry, I'm zooming in instead of zooming out. There you go, mate.
Spencer's in year 12 at year 11. Sorry, year 11 at Stawell High School, and he's with us Thursdays and Fridays, and he helps us out every day, and a bit of a rider. He works the horses in the splash pool. You get on fine and dandy sometimes when he's finished, but today Nell's on him. But all going good, mate?
Yeah, it's just a bit tough.
Right, you head back. Good on you, Spenny.
No, that's great to see, mate.
Yeah, you'll love that.
And we'll just finish off with Shine and Daddy. He's doing a lap of the island.
Yeah, plenty of grass in there on the island at the moment. Maybe we should cut that and make some hay. That's the best grass we've got at the farm at the moment. But he's going really well, guys. We're just a couple of weeks in, and as I explained at the top of the video, very important to get the most out of the sand, I think, and build a strong base of fitness into him. And the more solid work we put into him here early in the sand, you reap the rewards later on in the preparation, especially with these stayers.
Beautiful. Thanks, Andrew. Look, I love coming out here, and hopefully I can do it more often if the boss allows me. Thanks for your work here today. Thanks for your work with our horses, and we look forward to a good association going forward.
Thanks, everybody. Hopefully meet you all at the races soon.